Have you ever wondered why there are so many different kinds of Christian churches? Like, what's the difference between Catholic and Orthodox? Well, to understand that, we need to travel back in time, way back to the year 1054. This was the year of the Great Schism, a moment that literally tore the Christian world in two. For centuries, Christianity had one main church, even though it was spread across the vast Roman Empire. This empire eventually split into two halves: the Western Roman Empire, with its capital in Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, with its capital in Constantinople, which is modern-day Istanbul. Even though they were part of the same faith, the Christians in the West and the East started to drift apart. They spoke different languages, Latin in the West and Greek in the East. This language barrier made communication tricky, and misunderstandings started to creep in. But it wasn't just about language. They had different ideas about how the church should be run. In the West, the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, was seen as the supreme leader of all Christians. He claimed authority over everyone based on being the successor to the Apostle Peter. In the East, they had a different view. They believed the church should be led by a group of top bishops called Patriarchs, who were all equals. They respected the Pope as the first among equals, but they didn't believe he had the right to command the other patriarchs. This was a huge point of contention. Who's in charge? It's a question that has caused conflict throughout history, and the church was no exception. Then there were the theological debates. These might seem small to us now, but they were a massive deal back then. The biggest one was about something called the Filioque clause. It's a Latin term that means "and the Son." The original Christian creed, a statement of belief, said that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father. But in the West, they added "and the Son" to the text. The Western Church felt this clarified the nature of the Trinity. The Eastern Church was furious. To them, changing the creed without consulting the whole church was unacceptable. They also believed it was theologically incorrect. It might sound like a tiny detail, but for them, it was changing a fundamental belief that had been established for centuries. This disagreement simmered for years, adding more and more tension. Cultural differences also played a huge role. The West was more pragmatic and legalistic, influenced by Roman law. The East was more philosophical and mystical, steeped in Greek culture. They had different styles of worship, different art, and even different types of bread for communion. The West used unleavened bread, like the matzah used at Passover, while the East used leavened bread. Each side saw their way as the right way. So you have disagreements over leadership, theology, language, and culture all bubbling under the surface. The final break came in 1054. The Pope sent a representative, Cardinal Humbert, to Constantinople to try and sort things out. But the personalities clashed horribly. Humbert was arrogant and demanding, and the Patriarch of Constantinople, Michael Cerularius, was equally stubborn and proud. Their discussions went nowhere. In a dramatic and angry gesture, Cardinal Humbert marched into the Hagia Sophia, the most magnificent church in Constantinople, and placed a bull of excommunication on the main altar. This was basically a formal document kicking the Patriarch out of the church. In response, the Patriarch excommunicated the Pope's representatives. And just like that, the split was official. The Christian Church was now divided into the Roman Catholic Church in the West and the Eastern Orthodox Church in the East. They viewed each other as schismatics, people who had broken away from the true faith. For centuries, the two churches went their separate ways. It's a sad story of how politics, power, and pride can divide people, even those who share a common faith. It wasn't until 1965, more than 900 years later, that the Pope and the Patriarch officially lifted the mutual excommunications. While the churches are still separate today, this was a major step toward healing one of the oldest wounds in Christianity. The Great Schism of 1054 is a powerful reminder of how small disagreements can grow into massive divides over time. It shaped the history of Europe and the Middle East, and its legacy is still very much alive today. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey back in time interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.